Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Caden Be Fishing. Today we are actually stopping by the roadside culvert to see if we can catch some bass. And the challenge for today, well, it's kind of an evening now, but the challenge for today is going to be my Walmart Dock Demon little fishing pole here. It's about 10-20 bucks at Walmart, and I'm going to see if I can catch something on it. Let's see what happens. Alrighty you guys, we are going to be using my $20 Walmart Dock Demon pole. That's just what it's called, Dock Demon Deluxe or something like that. This pole is like basically indestructible as far as like bending wise, because I've caught a ton of fish on this and it hasn't broken yet. I have 8-pound line down here, a nice little size tube jig. We're going to be fishing this culvert here, as well as on the other side of the road. The water comes in on this side. We're going to fish here for a minute as well. And the best place to fish is where the water is coming out, so we'll hit that on the other side in a minute. But challenge today is just see if we can catch anything on the little pole here with the tube jig at the culvert. So let's see what happens. There's actually quite a nice little like weed mat, I guess. Weeds mat? I don't even know. We're gonna cast on the edge of it, and we're gonna just kind of work this tube jig all the way back to this fast water and just kind of see if anything's around. Stuck on the, oh, broke it off. Dang. Might be a log or something down there, possibly. All right, I'm gonna retie this quickly at the car and I will see you guys in a minute. All right, you guys, we're all tied back up here. We're actually gonna try casting on the other side here for a couple minutes and just see if we can catch anything. Yeah, I got stuck again. There we go. Can't really see anything out there right now. The sun has gone down. It's the end of the day here. And I know this side is very weedy, but you never know. Sometimes you might just catch something out of the blue here. Okay, let's go back to the other side here. Just because we're getting more action on the other side. And over here. Should have brought some night crawlers, honestly. It's one thing I always forget, night crawlers. We'll go back to the regular. Maybe I need to hook them a little better. There's also a ton of panfish in here, as well as little rock bass, crappies I've seen out of here a couple times. And oftentimes, last time I was here when I was fishing, I caught a bass like 10-15 minutes since I was here. And crazy thing is, just missed one right there. Crazy thing is, a lot of these fish that are in here, they're pretty aggressive, but they're small. Like those rock bass and those bluegills, can't always get that tube jig in their mouth. They try, but there's one. Here we go. Little baby largemouth here. Little guy, very tiny. I don't know what his deal is. Looks a little gangrenous. Try that again. Maybe we'll get a bigger one here. There's got to be like a new little tree down there or something. Should have came here a little earlier in the day. I could have seen if there was any branches or anything in the water, because I just can't see anything out there really. Oh, that was weeds. I also have a couple extra other lures I could try over here as well. I have yet to even try. Brought a few Rapalas, tube jig, a couple spinners. So we'll throw this tube jig for a little while, and then I might switch it up. We'll see. This pole's not the super highest of quality, but I mean, I've caught some pretty decent amount of fish on these Dock Demon poles, especially with the tube jig on there. And it's kind of fun, honestly. You ever catch a northern that's like the length of the pole with this thing? That is a rush, let me tell you that right now. Try over here. I think we're gonna switch over to that other spot in a second here, once we can catch a fish to keep us here. Okay, we're gonna go try the other side over there, the little spot on the edge. I know that there's a way to get down there by the water. Oh my god. A mouse just jumped in the water right there. What the heck? Why is there so many mice here always? I just don't understand. Alright, let me get the weeds off this. Let's go to the other side over there. Bruh. Definitely should have brought some top waters over here this late in the evening. Actually, you know what? We are going to throw on a little Husky Jerk Rapala. See you guys in a second. Alright, you guys, I'm going to be throwing this little silver minnow Husky Jerk here, Rapala. Maybe it'll work. Maybe I'll just snag it. How I'm kind of working this is just reeling up my slack and then giving it a twitch. And when I give it that twitch, that bait is flashing sideways as I'm reeling it in. And as long as I keep up with the slack, usually I can make this bait do exactly what I want it to do. Sometimes you want to leave a little pause in between every twitch, but it kind of depends, I guess, on what you're going for. There we go. Honestly, I have no idea if this is going to work at night, but we trying. Little duck. Has been pretty hot these last couple days still, even though we're into September now. So I still think topwaters might still work pretty well. This bait's not technically a topwater bait, it's kind of a mid-water bait. Kind of lays this, as you reel it in, if you stop reeling, it will float back to the surface. But most times what I like to do is just kind of reel it in slow, give it some twitches, and then do a pause for a couple seconds to see if anything hits it. And then start reeling and giving it twitches again. No hits on the Rapala, so I think what I'm going to try next, just because you know what, the light's getting pretty dim, the sun has already gone down, it's going to get dark here pretty soon. I'm going to just kind of whip a couple different kinds of lures really quickly, just to see if I get lucky and hook anything. So now I'm going to try throwing a gold Mepps spinner, and this is a number 3. And it pretty much, you just cast it out, reel it in, and it flashes as you reel it in, and that's, I guess, something that the fish will want to hit. You just got to keep it out of the weeds because it has one big treble hook on the back end of it, so. And it is kind of small, so might entice some of these smaller bass to strike. I knew I should have brought some night crawlers. Oh well. Okay, no hits on that. Let's go throw this back at the culvert. It really got dark out here fast. I hope you guys can actually see any of this. Next time I have to bring a headlamp too. We don't want any of that. Yeah, it might be too dark to keep filming now, I think. Nah, it might be a bust. Oh well. That's what we get for going here so late. All right, you guys, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back tomorrow morning, just before the sun comes up and before work, and we'll see if we can catch something better then, because it got a little dark on us here, and yeah, we'll start this again up tomorrow. All right, you guys, it is now morning time. Kind of ran out of light there last night, so we are going to be back here today at the culverts fishing again, and this time I am going to be throwing this because it is morning time now, buzzbait. Actually, I'm going to grab a worm for it real quick, but we're going to be fishing both sides of the culvert here with this, and then we'll switch to a tube jig, and I actually brought worms today as well, so we'll be trying both of those, seeing if we can catch something out here. All right, you guys, we got a worm on here, we're good. I never do have very much luck on this side of the culvert here, but it's always worth a cast, you know? At least one or two, or five. Alright, we're gonna go to the other side of the culvert now, and we're gonna be basically focusing most of our time on that side now, because that's usually where I catch, you know, 9 out of the 10 fish over here. I'm actually going to throw this on the calmer side instead of at the actual culvert itself, just because there's less noise, I think. Before I go to work today, I think I'm actually going to stop at my deer hunting stand and drop some bait down there as well after this video is all done. But we'll see. Hope you guys can see everything. Sometimes topwaters hit, sometimes they don't. You know, still kind of the end of summer vibes around here, temperature wise and everything, so they should still be able, or should still be going for topwaters, but it is a little bit colder this morning. It's about 60, so that might affect it a little bit. Sometimes when those cold temperatures kind of shoot in, it might shut some of those fish down. All right, we are going to head over to the culvert. We're going to switch baits to a tube jig. I pretty much casted in all the spots I wanted to with the buzz bait, and I didn't really get any action, so I'll see you guys over there. All right, you guys, we're all switched up for the tube jig here. I have a little green one with a red fleck in it, and we're going to be casting here at the culvert. All right, I also brought night crawlers today, so that could lead to something in a little while. There's one on the tube jig, a little baby bass here. Hey, the players. There we go. Baby largemouth. Get him back. You know what else I brought today? The fish towels. Sponsored by Laura Meyer. Bringing quality fish hand drying capabilities since 2024. If you know, you know. That guy just barely came up and nipped it. That little baby bass. See if there's anything else down there besides just one little baby bass. Like I said, there's usually a lot of panfish here. So in a little while, after we throw the tube jig for a bit, I will be putting on a bobber and a worm. I was thinking maybe about even using a bottom rig, like for river fishing, because this is technically a little bit of a river right here. It does flow out of like a lake. Well, I guess more of a flowage, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. There's like a big pool that's fed by a smaller stream, and then that turns into a dam that turns into this. So, oh, that was one little guy. I feel their little tiny little taps on the tip of the pole. The day that I literally came out to go put up my deer hunting stand, I had to pull over here and throw a few casts, and I actually caught a pretty decent largemouth bass when I was here. And I did not film it because I didn't have my camera with me. I just, you know, I happened to be near here, and I was like, I just can't not stop and take a couple casts, you know. I wish I had filmed it, but that's okay. Oh, it popped off. If you get snagged with this, it's very, very difficult because, again, this pole doesn't have any backbone. So like, what I mean by that is, like, it doesn't have enough strength to like pull and, like, you know, do a lot of what the longer poles can do. It is pretty indestructible, I will say, because whatever crap it's made out of is pretty, like, you can bend this thing almost tip to handle and it won't snap. So, all right, we're gonna tie another tube jig here, and then after a little bit here, we're probably gonna switch over to night crawlers. All right, you guys, we're retied back up again, and we're gonna be fishing the other side now. Try throwing over here for a bit. I'm really only expecting to catch like those little bass, maybe some panfish on night crawlers today, but you never really know what happens. Just gotta get out here and you just gotta try. That's pretty much all you can do when it comes to fishing. If you don't get outside and get by the water and cast your line, you are never gonna know if you're gonna catch fish. It is more difficult to catch fish on a smaller pole like this, not just because the pole is small, but just because of like the other factors, like I was saying, the backbone. As long as you have pretty decent line, you should be generally okay, I would say. Because I've caught fish longer than this pole, on this pole. And that's not even me bragging, like legit, it doesn't really matter. You could use a literal stick from the woods, as long as that line is tied on there, somehow. You can, you know, a lot of people freak out about their fishing gear and they're like, I need to have the most expensive this and the most expensive that to catch fish. It's like, no, you can literally go to Walmart, spend, you know, whatever, 20 bucks, 40 bucks, whatever it is, on just the crunchiest, crappiest gear you can find, and use, you know, worms or whatever. You know, you've seen my channel. I've used a ton of different stuff, and you can catch fish without spending a lot of money. My gear is not super expensive. I have a few pretty pricey poles here and there, but those are like gifts, like from my dad or like my family. I haven't bought any like serious fishing gear, like big reels, big poles, anything like that for probably a year or two. And I've been using the same stuff. Like, sure, my stuff's old. It does break from time to time. But you know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, as long as you respect your stuff and take care of your stuff, it does last a really long time. snagged on something here. Oh, broke it. Dang. Well, this is a good time to switch over to worms. So I'm going to tie this pole up with a bobber and a worm, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, you guys, we are back with a bobber and a worm. Classic. And we will be seeing what is out here. Maybe now that we'll have a bobber and worm on, we'll catch a big bass. You never know. Might make this a little bit deeper though, actually. Looking at it. There used to be a bunch of crappies here, a bunch of rock bass here, bluegills. That was also like middle of the summer that I fished for those here and caught a bunch of them. So honestly, they could have moved on, I guess, but you never know. Well, I'm finding out now, I guess. There's one. The tiniest of largemouth. There he is. He shall be called Gregory. Come back when you reach 5 pounds, Gregory. I will be happy to catch you again. Okay, well, let's try way out here now. Collar good. Take it. Got him. Another bass. This one's actually pretty decent. This is bigger than the one we caught on the tube jig this morning. Come on, man. Oh, he has that hook in there. Weird. Come on, man. Why you gotta do that to yourself? There we go. Okay. Nice little bass there. Largemouth. Little guy. Biggest one so far. Heck yeah. Alright, I gotta wash my hands here. It is getting so much more difficult to go to these spots and catch fish because the temperature is changing. And these fish are just not as concentrated as they were in the summer and the spring when they were all running upriver to spawn and all that stuff. So I apologize if some of this content is not the greatest. At the end of the day, it is fishing, not catching, you know? As much as it might seem like from watching my channel that I catch a lot of fish, which I do, you know, from time to time I catch a pretty good amount. Just because I know, you know, some stuff about fishing a little bit. Just because I have those, you know, super great videos doesn't mean I'm just, every single time I go fishing, I'm just hammering them. That's not how it goes. There's plenty of videos I have tried to film and caught nothing. So, you know, that's just how it goes. But we here, we doing it, and we trying, you know? So here we go. Hey, look. Chunk of our last worm is right here. Hook that bad boy on. A little extra action. These fish around here never seen nothing like that, I'll tell you that right now. Got one. What is it? Yes, it is a bluegill. This is the one that has been playing with us for the last 10 minutes. Probably. Pardon you, young person. Young sir. You have been caught, and don't worry, you're going back. There she be. Alright, you guys, that's probably going to be all for this video. Just because I have about 5 minutes and then I have to go to work. Alright, you guys, well, not the most eventful fishing video. However, I'd say challenge good, challenge completed. Got a couple little bass. One, I believe, yesterday before it got too dark. And then we caught 3 bass today, I believe. 2 or 3. And then 1 little bluegill. So that is better than nothing. We will see you guys in the next one.